This training video covers everything in the Preferences section of the VSS application. The General tab will generally be filled in for you during your onboarding setup. You can edit the information by clicking in a field, making a change, and clicking in the blank space to commit the change. Whatever information you have about your company and the terms and conditions is going to show up in the Orders section. For example, we have interest of 10% currently. If we go to the Orders section and just make a new blank order, we can see the information of terms and conditions, and the company information is all here. If we make a change to this by making it 100% and clicking in the blank space, then when we create a new blank order, we can see the change made here. This Preferences section also lets you add a company logo. Click Insert, choose the logo, and now your logo will show up where needed also. You can clear the logo by clicking the Clear button, and it is now gone. When you need to send the remote file to an iPad, simply click the Email Remote File, and it will bring up an email with the attachment and enter the email address and send. The Pull History button will show all of the attempts at pulling orders, such as this button or on your dashboard where you have the Pull Orders button. The QuickBooks tab will be set up for you in your onboarding process. You can check that box to get more information there. We will leave that unchecked at the moment. The Boats section is used in many areas. This gives you an overview of all of your boats. It shows the maximum active boats for your license. It is sorted by boat name and gives you general information. You can add a new boat by clicking the New Boat button, adding in the necessary information, including the starting hours, which is important for the maintenance logs. Then click Save, and your new boat is added to the list. To edit information, click the pencil next to the boat and make any necessary changes. You can also add components to your boat here from a list that is automatically populated from the Components tab in your Preferences section. You can add notes as well, and if you have a lot of components, they could be easier to find by adding filters. You can clear the filters with the X and also filter by type and even by notes. You can move a component by clicking the Move button and choosing the destination boat, clicking Move and Save. The number of components automatically is calculated and the component has been moved. If you want to eliminate something like that nasty paperwork, you can click the red X. You can also modify the color of a boat that actually shows up on the map portion to make them easier to find. Clicking the red X will make a boat inactive if you would like. The boats you have listed here will show up in the Orders section in the drop-down list showing the active boats, as well as in the Fuel Log section and the Maintenance section. The Ports tab is used to list your standard ports as well as setting a default. You can even have different tower IDs for different ports. These show up in the Orders section under the port. You can add a port by clicking in this Enter a Port Name and entering the tower ID and making it a default. The ports are sorted by port name, and any new orders will automatically choose the default port. You can delete a port by clicking the red X. The Personnel tab has all of your user accounts, which are used in the Orders and the Timesheet section. This list is sorted first by active status versus inactive, and then by the first name. You can edit the contact information, like the phone information, which is used in the text option after a captain is chosen here. The list shows active and inactive, but you can click this to hide the inactive personnel. To mark someone as inactive, choose inactive here, which informs you they will no longer have access to the system. You can also set them as inactive by clicking the red X. You can set the default pay rate information by clicking here, including a commission rate by using the decimal point and clicking in the blank space. You can activate previously inactive personnel by clicking the inactive field, which will also reset their password. To add new personnel, go to the first blank line and type in any information and choose their role or privilege set. The privilege set can be changed with the Manage Privileges button. This chart shows the general privileges for each role. Management always has access to every category. Deckhands and captains only have access to some areas, and management gets to determine how much access they have. These two columns have to do with the maintenance logs and schedules. Dispatch is the order section. You can uncheck any of these that you wish at any time. The Items tab shows the list of items that show up in the Orders section under Description of Services. If your system is not connected to QuickBooks, you will need to enter these manually by clicking New Item and entering in the information, and then clicking Save. The items are sorted by item name. So if you want one of these to be different, click the pencil next to it and you can put a number in front of the name, which will put it at the top. This can be helpful in order processing so that you have the ones you know you want easily available. The amount set in preferences is already entered in this area. To delete an item, simply click the red X and choose yes or no. If you are using the QuickBooks option, notice that the editing and delete and new items are going to go away because all items have to be pulled from QuickBooks. All changes would also have to be done in QuickBooks or deletions. The Email tab section sets up your email for your default client or SMTP options. You should note that using the SMTP option for emailing will not have a dialog confirmation before sending the email, but using the email client will. As shown previously, the Components tab shows what is available per boat. These are sorted by type and then by component name. If you have a lot of components, you can filter these by component name and clicking the X to clear that. You can also filter by type. Click in the first available row to add a component and choose the type. And now that component is available to be added to any of your boats. To delete a component, click the red X and choose OK or Cancel. The Calendar tab sets the preferences for the calendar area. This can be for things like the default view or the category list, which can be changed by going to the Manage Categories button and adding a category. You can enter the RGB information to set different colors for your categories. And now it's available in your calendar. In this area, there's an Events tab, and in the Preferences section, you have a shortcut that goes directly to that tab. There's an Update Events List button here, as well as in the Preferences section. You can enter a Google Calendar ID, set the default visible date range, as well as the default view. As you can see, there's a lot in this preferences section, and you want to make sure this is all accurate so the rest of your system will work smoothly. Check out our other training videos or contact us with any questions.